Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the different retired LEGO themes that I would like to see return, or even just in general, some of my favorite ones that they've ever made. This is going to be a little different than most of my other videos, because most of my other videos are just Star Wars, but these are going to be kind of five. There's a little extra, I'll explain it later. The classic LEGO themes that I want to see return. These are only going to be, like I said, classic LEGO themes. I don't know if classic's the right word, but just LEGO created themes. There's no licensed themes in here. For me personally, pretty much all the licensed themes that I care about are currently being made. There's very few that have been retired that I would want to see again, so let's just get right into it with this list. So at number 5, I have Legends of Chima. This theme released in 2013, and it was one of my favorites at the time. I kind of fell out of love with it, but I think the first couple waves that they did were really great, and I think they put a lot of effort into it. The figures in that theme are absolutely beautiful. A lot of the set ideas are really cool. I still have some of them from back in the day. I think it just got kind of a rough start because I believe it was originally meant to replace Ninjago, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know if that was ever officially announced or if it was just a rumor going around, but I do remember that that was the thing with that theme at that point, was that they were retiring Ninjago back in, I believe, 2013 and replacing it with Legends of Chima. So that's why the theme might have gotten a rough start, was because people really liked Ninjago, and originally they were going to replace it, but they brought Ninjago back within like a year or two. It was back, I think, 2014. I think they skipped a year, something like that. But yeah, that's it on Legends of Chima. It was one of my favorite themes growing up. I don't know if I'd buy a ton of it now, but I'm sure I'd buy a couple sets. The next one I have on here is Space Police. This is going to be kind of similar to one later, but it's a bit different. This one was just really cool. I just have a lot of memories. There was a little orange tentacle guy, was one of my favorite characters from that theme at the time. It was just a really cool theme. A lot of the sets from it I wish I still had today. I remember having them as a kid, and they're pretty much all destroyed. I think I have like one in a box somewhere that's not even complete. Like, it's missing parts, but like there's a bit of this set there. Like, you can tell what it is. Like, the vehicles are still there, but like there's parts missing and stuff. But I just wish it was one of my favorite themes growing up. Yeah, that's it on Space Police. That one, I would like it back. It's more of a, I look at these in hindsight and there are really cool ideas. This is, out of all the themes on here, probably the ones that I own the least of. Next up, we have Monster Fighters. This theme was really cool for me growing up. I think they only did it for like a year. It was one of the coolest original themes they had at that time, though. I think there's only the next one is kind of the weird kind of combination one that I did, and then number one are probably the only original themes that they don't make anymore that I would put above Monster Fighters. There's some that they still currently make, like I think Ninjago is definitely up there, but as far as retired ones, I think Monster Fighters is one of the best they've ever made. Just a lot of the unique pieces, unique designs. They did glow-in-the-dark parts for this theme, which I'm sure isn't unique to this theme, but it's the only one I really know about that they use glow-in-the-dark. I'm sure they've done it before, but that's just a really cool idea, is them using glow-in-the-dark. I know they use it on like ghosts and stuff. I remember one of the sets that I have, there's like a hearse set or something that I have somewhere in a box that has like a glow-in-the-dark sticker on it. And yeah, just some of the designs they did. Like, I know there's a werewolf that I have that just looks absolutely amazing, and it's just such a cool theme. And a lot of the sets that are in that I do regret not picking up. Like, that haunted house is so cool. That's one that I regret not picking up. Thankfully, I made good choices with Star Wars growing up, but the other themes, not so much. There's a lot of stuff that I missed out on. So this next one is kind of a combination, well, it is a combination of three themes that I think we are very much missing today. And it's classic space, pirate, and castle. Those three themes, pirates, castle, space, we hardly get any of anymore. And what we do get is all like very high price stuff. The only thing I've seen for pirates the past few years is the Pirates of Barracuda Bay set, which I do own, and it is one of probably my favorite non-Star Wars set that I own. It looks absolutely amazing. It's so cool to look at. I just love it. And it's one of the few non-Star Wars sets I own. I do try to stick to Star Wars for the most part. As you can see, this is all Star Wars here. But other than like a few one-offs here and there, which I luckily bought that set at the time, and actually it was a gift, I believe. I didn't buy it. But it is one of my favorite sets that I own. It's probably my favorite that's not Star Wars. I just love looking at that thing. And then as far as space is probably out of the three my least desired, just because my appetite for space is filled up by Star Wars. But I still think it's a very cool theme, just like the generic spaceship designs and all that. A lot of the old sets do look really good too, and just kind of have that nostalgia factor. Even though I didn't grow up with them, they're a bit older for me. But I grew up with a lot of like Space Police, like I said, and I think there was like is it Alien Conquest? I think was the name of it, something like that. But Castle is the main one out of the three. Like Pirates is second, but I do really like Pirates. But the main one that I want is Castle. This is something that I'm gonna hopefully get the Lion Knights Castle before it retires, and the medieval market thing is a really cool set. I have a lot of nostalgia, even though I never owned it for the original one from like 2007. That medieval market was so cool to me. It would always be in the back of the Lego magazine growing up, and I always really wanted that one, but I never got it, so I'll probably get the new one at some point. But Castle is the main one. It's just so cool to me. The medieval sets are really, really cool, and it's something that if they brought it back regularly, I would eat that up. Those sets are so cool, and I just miss it because it was a consistent thing throughout my childhood. It's been a consistent thing that they had for probably 40 years at this point. I think they started Castle in the 70s, 40, 50 years at this point. And it's just sad that it's not really around anymore, other than the one or two huge Castle sets that they make every year. Like, bring back the 80, 100, maybe even $120 castles. Nowadays they'd probably be like 120, but just bring those back, and I think it would be very successful, if not their most successful non-licensed theme, I should say. Those three are also really nostalgic to me because of the old Lego Battles game. That game was so cool, and I spent so much time on that as a kid. I've tried playing it again now, and it does get kind of stale, but I just remember playing that game as a kid, and that game is probably my favorite Lego game of all time. It's either that or the Complete Saga. But those two games got me through a lot as a kid. I spent a lot of time on those. Going on to my number one spot, this was definitively my number one. The rest of them were just kind of like, whatever, kind of. I like these all relatively equally for the other four. I'd say Castle is like my 1B, and this one is far and away my 1A, and that is Power Miners. This was probably my favorite non-licensed, definitely my favorite non-licensed Lego theme growing up. It was just so cool. It was so unique. The figures you'd get in the sets and the rock monsters just are so cool, and the little crystals you'd get, it was just so fun to play with those sets growing up. I have a few of them still together. One of the biggest regrets that I have with a Lego set is I had the crystal sweeper thing, that it's the one where you like roll it around and it just has a little like not gear looking thing, but it like sweeps the crystals into the bin in the back of the thing. That set was so cool. The last thing I remember about it was I like threw it down the stairs when I was like 7, and I haven't had it since. I'm sure it's in a bucket somewhere. I could probably piece it out, but yeah, Power Miners is just easily my number one. It's such a cool theme, easily my favorite non-licensed Lego theme they've ever made, and it is just honestly probably like third or fourth favorite overall. Like, Star Wars is number one, then it's probably Marvel, then Power Miners is probably in that 3 or 4 spot. Like, I like Harry Potter. I like, yeah, that's about, I really only buy like Star Wars and Marvel. I have some old Harry Potter sets, but the new stuff doesn't appeal to me that much because I already have a lot of it in the older models, and I only really care about having one because Harry Potter isn't like a huge thing to me. But yeah, I'm getting a little off track here, so thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your favorite unlicensed themes are in the comments below, and let me know which ones you want brought back. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye.